How's it going, guys? David Hedge here, House Hedge Gaming, and today I'm coming to you with another playthrough of a board game that I really enjoy playing, and it is a predecessor from the pandemic system of Z-Man Games. And you know, I got a little cocky, I will admit. I got a little cocky after the first playthrough I did for the channel, which was Horrified American Monsters. I defeated the Chupacabra. I defeated the Banshee of the Badlands. So I figured, what if I went against the Elder Gods? What if I went against the Ancient Ones? So let's see how I fare in playing Reign of Cthulhu, a pandemic system game by Z-Man Games. Alright, so I got cocky with defeating the Chupacabra and the Banshee of the Badlands and Horrified. So I thought, I could deal with some Ancient Gods, some Elder Ones. Ancient Ones, Elder Gods. Either way, I could deal with the big bads. So I decided to do a playthrough on Reign of Cthulhu, a pandemic system from Z-Man Games. Now, this is a two-player game set up, ready to go. I've already set up pretty much everything. I have in one corner the Hunter, which is really cool. Every time that she performs the defeat cultist action, she removes all cultists, and she gets to defeat these big guys for one action point instead of 3. On the other hand, I do also have the Detective. Now, I only need 4 cards of the same color to seal a gate. So instead of 5, I only need 4 with him. I have dealt out the 4 cards for each of them. The decks have all been set out. And as you can see, cultists are already starting to take residence here in Arkham. And it's Innsmouth is definitely a bit of a pain here. Arkham's actually clear. But yeah, so let us begin the game of Reign of Cthulhu and see how fast I lose to these Ancient Ones. Alright, I have sat down, I've looked at the board, and it is a mess. We have a lot of stuff in Dunwich, a lot of stuff in Innsmouth, only one little cultist in Kingsport, which is perfectly fine. And in Arkham, it is clear, and both of my characters are at the train station, so we are set to go. Now, for actions, each of my characters get 4 actions each turn. So I get to walk from one place to another. I get to take a bus by discarding a clue card at a bus station to move to any location in that town. Or anywhere if the card matches my current town. So if I discard an Arkham card, I can go anywhere on the board. If I just discard any card, I can go anywhere within that current town. I can use a gate go from one place to another gate. Where's this other gate? Here. It's right here at the hospital. So I can go, like, say, the park to the old mill or old mill to the hospital. But each time I do, I got to roll this die and see if I lose sanity. I can give or take clues and relic cards between players. So if I'm in the same location, then we're able to do that. Defeat a cultist for 1 action point. Defeat a Shuggoth for 3 action points. And if I do that, I get to gain a relic, which is really cool. But these can also cause me to go insane. And finally, I can seal a gate for 5 clues or 4 clues in the case of the detective. So, let us begin. We'll go with the Hunter first, because ladies go first. And her ability is that she can remove all cultists when doing defeat cultist action. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing for her. So, she is going to travel, or actually what we can do, we can go ahead and give him, the detective, some cards so we can go ahead and close a gate. Because she's got 3 Arkham cards. So that might be the best way. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go 3 actions here to give 1 of each of these cards to the detective. Now she's got 1 action left, so she's just going to go ahead and make her way to the university. So she's just going to do a quick little walk, give him a bunch of information, and we're good to go. So after that, now we get to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn. So we have Kingsport and we have another Arkham. So that's good. Now we got to deal with this. So we start with 2 cards during the summoning phase for the bad guys here. All right, so we have a cultist that goes to the inn. Which is right... Oh, the diner. Excuse me. I can't read the card. All right. So there's 1 cultist at the diner and 1 cultist at the university. Oh, you're so getting it next turn when the Hunter goes up. All right. So that's the end of that phase. Already. This symbol here means the Shuggoth gets to move. If there's any on the board, they go 1 step closer to a portal. So this Shoggoth is going to go here to this portal. Now, if that symbol comes up again, and if he would move, he just goes back home, and then one of these ancient ones will be summoned. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So let's go ahead and go with the detective here. So 1, 2, actually 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to perform the closing of that gate by discarding 4 Arkham cards. Those are gone, and now we get to close this gate. The gate is now closed, and we get to remove 1 cultist from each location of the town. So we're going to remove that guy. So he came in, had a bite to eat, and they left. All right, but those are my 4 actions, and now we go to draw 2 cards from here. So we get an Innsmouth, and we get another Kingsport. Now, the maximum hand size of this game is 7, so we're good on both cases now. Now let's go with this. So, fudge. All right. So the Great Hall will get a cultist, but unfortunately, this Shoggoth will go home. It goes here, and now we get to see what the first of these ancient ones does. So, as a Toth, this is a continuous effect that will happen no matter what. Remove 3 cultists from the unused supply. Now, remember when I said, like, this is a way for us to lose? Yeah, he just made it easier for them to win. So, 3 cultists are gone. So, that's 3 less people that I have to worry about, but also gets them closer to win the game. All right, so that's 1. The second one, we're going to go to 1 to the wharf. So, the wharf is right over here. That's it for that, and we still got some evil stirring over here, so we just got to watch out for that. So now it is her turn, and what I'm going to do, since she now has an Arkham card, I'm going back here for 1. I'm going to discard this Arkham card to use this station. I'm going to go over here for 2, use the Defeat Cultist action for 3 to go ahead and get rid of all these, since she has that special ability as a hunter. And then the 4th action, she is going to go here to the hospital. So that's it for her. We're good. Now we get to draw 2 cards. So we draw an Innsmouth, and we draw another Arkham. Cool. Staying away from the evil. Excellent. Now we go on ahead and do this here. So we have, at the train station, a cultist will be arriving on the bus. Hopefully he had the back seat. Then we have a secret lodge. Now the secret lodge will go... Boy, it's a secret lodge. There. Now, since we don't have any Shoggoths, we're good on this. We ain't got to worry about it. Thank goodness for now. If I do mess up, you'll see a little notation right now, but we should be good. All right, so that's the end of that. Now we go to the next one, which is our detective. So let me actually do this. Let me just tap her a little bit, or let me turn her 90 degrees or less to symbolize I've used her for the turn. So I'll be able to track them a little bit better. All right, so the detective has 4 actions to go. So what we're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, and 4. He'll go down to the cafe. He's going to see if he can make his way over here to Dunwich and possibly get rid of that stuff. And now we draw our cards. So we have 1 for Innsmouth, and we have a relic. All right, so the relic is Zeus's Mirror. You can swap 1 clue card from your hand with a clue card in another player's hand, regardless of where either of you are. So, but if I use this relic, I may or may not go a little bit mad, but we'll see what happens with that. I can keep an eye, because if they have 1 more of each, if I get 1 more Kingsport or any of these, I can grab 1 from the detective or from the hunter. All right, so that's the end of the detective's turn. Let's draw 2 cards. We've already done that. So let's go on ahead and do this. So we got Boardwalk. Boardwalk gets a little bugger. And the Docks will also get a cultist. And that's the end of that turn. So let's now go back to our hunter. The hunter, first action, she's going to knock the crap out of these guys, get them off the board. Second action, move down here. Third action, go to the junkyard and junk these guys for the 4th action. So she's kicking butt, taking names. We're good to go with that. Well, never mind. All right, so evil stirs. So we get to fight the madness. Let's see what happens. 2 cultists get added to the location here, I do believe. Let's go ahead and flip this so I see. Add 2 cultists to your location. Well, they have buddies there. They're coming back. Next awakening. Reveal the next old one. Crap. All right, so the next old one is Yug Zothoth. If I butcher these names, I apologize. Playing relic cards can only be done by the active player. Okay, so usually you can do it at any time, but now only the active player can do it. You stink. All right. But we're still only revealing 2 cards per turn, so we're fine. Next, draw 1 card from the bottom of the summoning deck and put 1 Shuggoth on the location indicated. So we have a Shuggoth going to the farmstead. Must be the second cousin of the Chupacabra. Finally, cultists regroup. Shuffle the summoning discard pile and put it on top of the summoning deck. Well, good news, there's a lot of cards here, as you can see. Bad news, we have Dunwich there that might end up giving us trouble. So let's go on ahead and do this. So that goes back on top. This goes over here. This finally goes to the discard pile. And now let's draw another card for Dunwich. All right. So that's that. Now we go to the evil here. So the junkyard gets 1. I'm glad boy, you guys are going to be so screwed. And the hospital gets 1. Okay, so at least we got to clear off some of that stuff before it got too bad. All right, so that is the end of the hunter's turn. Now let us go with the detective. So detective has the mirror. I can go on ahead and use that if I want. I can swap 1 clue card from my hand with a clue card in another player's hand. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can get the Dunwich one and give a Kingsport one to the hunter. And now, because it's otherworldly, I need to roll the sanity. Nothing happens. Okay, just another ordinary thing that I got as a detective. I am perfectly fine. All right, so now let's go on ahead and use the rest of my actions here, which luckily these do not activate in action, which is pretty cool. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and get these guys cleared off the board. And the detective is done, so they now draw 2 cards. Let's go ahead and put this Dunwich up 1 here, because I might need to discard a couple cards here in a second. So we got Innsmouth, and we got Innsmouth. Oh, okay, we got Innsmouth and Innsmouth. All right, so I might have to discard a Dunwich and a Kingsport to do that. So let's go on ahead and discard these, and these have already been used. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. So actually, I only need to discard 1. So let's go ahead and discard the Kingsport. And so now I have enough for Innsmouth, so I can take the bus to go to Innsmouth and take care of that. But we'll see what happens. So that's the 2 cards from there. Now let's do this. All right. So the Secret Lodge will get a new member. And this Shuggoth will go up here to the church. Now, fudge and A. All right. Next, the Great Hall will get another member. And the Shuggoth will go here. Right there to the portal. Let's hope I can get rid of it next turn. All right. So detective is done. Now we go with the hunter. All right. Hunter's first turn. Get rid of these cultists. We need to free them up. Second turn. We're going to go here 2. Actually, we're going to go back here 2, 3, and then 4 to clear this off. All right. Now we draw 2 cards for the hunter. Kingsport and Kingsport. Okay, this is looking pretty good. We have 7 cards here, so I can use the diner to go to Kingsport to close that off, which is cool. He has enough to close off Innsmouth, and then we just have to worry about Dunwich. We got this. It's in the bag. So that's those. Now let's go on ahead and do this. So the wharf will get another fisherman here. And crap. All right, so the docks will get another one. Docks are here, but the Shuggoth now leaves, and we get to summon a next one. All right. Investigators may no longer do the use a gate action. Okay, well, I didn't have a chance to really do that, so now I can't use gates to go from place to place, and that's fine. I'd much rather keep my sanity as much as possible. So, that was the hunter's full turn. Now let's go with this. And if this one flips, then we have to start flipping over 3 of these cards, which is going to make this game go a lot quicker. Alright, so we have the detective. He no longer has to deal with the Shoggoth, which is fine. But I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out for 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to leave this guy here. I'm going to discard a Dunwich card, and I am going to move to the factory for 4. So next turn, I can close out the hospital. Didn't think I'd say that phrase today, but you know what? It's okay. It's a Saturday. All right, now we're going to draw 2 cards. So we have a Kingsport card, and we have a Kingsport card. Not bad, but I do need to discard down, so I'll discard the Kingsport since she's about ready to take care of that for us. And now we go with this. All right, the old mill. We'll get a new person working in the old mill, which is at that portal. I just cleared it off. And then the boardwalk. We'll get another one. All right, so now we go to the hunter phase. The hunter will go 1. Discard the Arkham card for 2. Travel here, down here to the market. So that's 2, 3, 4. So next turn we can go ahead and get this closed off. Now, whatever cards I draw, I'm just going to let it be. They're going to go. So Arkham will probably get discarded, and a Kingsport will get discarded. So both of these will go. Actually, since he's getting ready to take care of Innsmouth, let's go ahead and get rid of Arkham and Innsmouth so I can get the bus to go somewhere else, which is not a bad idea. All right, so actually I only had this card, 1 card, because I can't count. All right, so now let's go 2 cards here. Factory, we have 1 going to the factory. Right on my heels, literally. And then 1 going back to the farmstead. All right, so that's it for the hunter. That's it for the evil. Now the detective gets to go. Both of us still have sanity. We're good. So first, 1 to go to the hospital, 2 to get rid of this cultist, and 3 to discard 4 cards to seal that gate. And it removes 1 cultist from each part of that town, which gives us a little more breathing room. We still got all these big guys that are still sitting here, which is perfectly fine. They can stay there. They're aces. All right, so that takes care of that because it was 1, 2, 3. So I got 1 more move. So let's go ahead and just move here back to the factory. And let's go ahead and draw 2 cards. So we have Innsmouth and we have Arkham. Now we go back to here and let's see what we got. So we have the train station, which will get 1. And then we have the market, which will get 1, which is pretty cool. All right, so that ends the detective's turn. Now we go back to the hunter. The hunter, she's going to go hunting. So 1, 2. Oh, no, actually, let's go back. Almost forgot. I got 5 cards. So first off, before I do something dumb, let's go ahead and discard 5 of the Kingsport cards to go ahead and seal away that gate, which will eliminate 1, 2, 3 cultists. We're good. All right, so that takes care of that for first action. Second action, go here. Third action, knock this guy out. Fourth action, go back to the market. And we're good. So far, we're handling pretty decent. So Dunwich and Dunwich. So we got that down pat. Now there should be more lurking evil over here. I'm nervous because I have them divided up and shuffled in. But we'll see what happens. All right. Now we go to the Historic Inn. We'll get a cultist there. And the church. We'll get a cultist there. All right. So we have 3 gates closed. We now need to find 4 cards for Dunwich. So I can actually get to her and get those 2 cards. So what we're going to do, it's now the detective's turn. The detective will discard the Innsmouth, travel here to the market for 1. Then I will be able to take these 2 from her. So 3, 4. and I'm going to make an even trade. So 1, 2, 3, and I will give her an Arkham card or a Kingsport card just in case, because you never know, stuff can happen. And plus, I'll need discard cards anyway. All right, so let's go on ahead and draw. So we have Dunwich. Well, here we go. Evil stirs on the detective's turn. Let's go. All right, fight the madness. Man, actually, let's re-roll that because that just fell out. I'm going to be fair, so. All right, 1 sanity is gone. Next, awaken the Ancient One. The Ancient One that's awakened is Yig. Sealing gates require 1 additional clue. Well, at least I got Dunwich, so I'm good. So I'll need 5 cards or 6 if I had to go with the Hunter, but luckily I got 5 cards for Dunwich for the detective. Next, the Shuggoth appears. Let's take this bottom card. The police station. There is a new sheriff in town, and his name is... And now let us go on ahead and regroup the cultists. Now, since this one got revealed, we now have to do 3 of these baddie cards. So that's awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and put that on top. That now is officially done. That was my second card. So now we trip over 3 of these. Is there anywhere that we're going to have problems? Okay, the Shuggoth, luckily he can't go there, so we got that seal. He's got a way to go to get to that portal. Let's find out what happens. So first, the hospital gets 1. Cool. Next, the police station will get 1. Not cool. And finally, the train station will get 1. Alright, so it's not horrible. We still got this. Alright. Now we go to the hunter's turn. The hunter, she's going hunting. So she's going to discard the Kingsport card. Or actually... No, she can do it. Alright, discard the Kingsport card. She'll go over here to the Historic Inn. So that's 1. Pop these for 2, 3, and 4 to get rid of that guy. Alright, so that takes care of her. Let's go ahead and draw her some cards. So 1 is an Elder Sign. Pick a town. If its gate has been sealed, no new cultist or Shuggoth may be placed in that town. As a reminder, flip the seal token to show the Elder Sign. Okay, let me actually do this, because I thought it was really cool to actually have those, but that is a thing to show, hey, it stopped. So, I got 1 more card to draw, and then we'll deal with this on my next turn. And Innsmouth. Alright, so we have Innsmouth. Now let's go on ahead and flip these. We got 3 cards to flip. So the Junkyard will get 1. The Historic Inn will get 1. And finally, the Church will get 1. I just cleared those off, but it's okay. Alright, so that ends her turn. Now it's time for the detective. So, detective, 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to go here. Build up some drama a little bit, I guess. Alright, now the detective will need to draw 2 cards. Draws a silver key. The active player can instantly move to any location on the board. Well, that would have helped last turn, but it's okay. And another Dunwich. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go ahead and discard a Dunwich and an Arkham. Now we gotta do 3 here. So, 1, going to the wharf. 2, going to the farmstead. 3, going to the secret lodge here, and this one is going to the university, because unfortunately he can't go anywhere else, which is perfectly cool. Alright. Now is the hunter's turn. Possibly her last turn if nothing happens over here. So, first action she's going to do, she's going to pop this guy for 1. Go here, pop these guys for 3 total for the move as well. And then 4, she's just going to go right here. Alright, let's draw 2 cards for her. We have Kingsport. And we have Dunwich. Alright, and now we go over here. So we have 1 going to the market. We have 1 going to the docks. And the Shuggoth will go ride the bus. And the Great Hall will get another member. and the Shuggoth will make his way down to the cafe to have a bite to eat. Alright, so that's it for them, and now it's finally time for the detective to do his turn. 1, 2, and then discard all 5 of these thanks to Yig here. 5 Dunwich to close off this gate and close out this game of Reign of Cthulhu. And the hunter and detective have done it. They have saved the towns, and they have stopped the ancient ones from coming through and devouring the world once again. Now, I will say this. This is probably one of the tamer games that I have ever played. This is basically the introductory game where we had all 44 clues in here. We'll start ramping it up a little bit. If these playthroughs go well and people enjoy them, I'll keep doing them. And these will get harder and harder to get through because there'll be less and less clues to use in the game. But these guys just doing one-time effects definitely helped out. There's a lot of ancient ones in this game that has continuous effects that mess with everybody each and every turn. And that, like I said, this was very tame for this game. But there you have it. That is the playthrough for Reign of Cthulhu, the pandemic system from Z-Man Games. And now, back to me at my desk. Well, there you have it. That is what happened in Reign of Cthulhu, and I won. I was very surprised that the detective and the hunter who arrived in Arkham kicked butt, took names, and left, and kept their sanity for the most part. Now, I will say this. In the gameplay of the game, it went a lot smoother than I thought it would have. Because in that game, a lot of the ancient ones can definitely mess you up when they get revealed. But everything lined up to where it was one-shot deals. So for Yig, which was the big one, that could have messed me up, having to use 6 cards instead of 5 for closing a gate. But by the time he showed up, I've already had 3 of the gates closed, and I just had 1 left. And I was able to maneuver cards around between the 2 characters, and I was able to get that taken care of without any problem. Didn't see much use of the relics outside of being able to trade with one for one from a different area of the board, which was pretty good and very timely. This game, my wife Cindy prefers this version over the original Pandemic. Now, she still loves the original Pandemic, even though we didn't play it through the Pandemic. We didn't feel it was in right taste to bring that to the gaming table for a while. I don't think we actually played Pandemic until after a vaccine was made. Until after that started to become a thing. So we're like, okay, it's been over a year plus. Let's go ahead and get it back on the table. Still frustrates us, but you know what? It's still a great game. But Reign of Cthulhu is a whole lot of fun to play with 2 to 4 players. I wanted to try a solo playthrough and have me use 2 characters to resemble 2 players, and since the co-op game is a lot easier to do instead of a 1v1 type deal, that would never work as a solo playthrough. But Reign of Cthulhu or a Pandemic or any of those kind of games, I'm able to do it without any problem, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you see anything I messed up, because I did look through the video, and I didn't catch anything that I messed up, but if I did, please let me know so I can address it in a future video and say, hey, I goofed. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you guys so much for checking it out. If you like it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to let everybody know that House Hedge Gaming is here for all of your gaming needs. So until next time, guys, stay safe, take care, and watch out for Cthulhu.